Hello friends, today we learn the characteristics table and excitation table of SR flip-flop. So first of all, truth table of SR flip-flop is if S is equal to don't care, that means clock is 0, then S is equal to 0 and 1, and R is equal to 0 and 1, then output is became the undefined, that means Q of N. If we provide the clock is 1 and S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 0, then output of SR flip-flop is Q of N, that means work as a memory. Then output is become the previous value. If clock is equal to 1 and S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 1, then output of SR flip-flop is 0, that means reset conditions. If clock is 1, S is equal to 1 and R is equal to 0, then output we getting the SR flip-flop is 1, that means set condition. If S is equal to 1 and R is equal to 1, that means R is equal to 1, then output of SR flip-flop invalid condition. Invalid condition, that means output of SR flip-flop must be the complementary. But here we cannot getting the output of complementary. That means this state is an invalid state. That means if F is equal to 1 and R is equal to 1, then output of SR flip-flop is invalid statement. After then we see the characteristics table of SR flip-flop. In the SR flip-flop, first of all the Q of N, that's called the previous value, and Q of N plus 1, that's called the next value. Here we getting the input of 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0 and 1, 1, 1. Now first of all, if S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 0, if S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 0, then Q of N is equal to 0. So S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 0. So according to the condition of this SR truth table, SR flip-flop work as a memory. So output of SR flip-flop, if S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 0, the output of Q of N, that means next stage is 0. If S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 1, according to truth tables, output of 0, that means reset condition. So here next stage also be 0. If S is equal to 1 and R is equal to 0, that means SR flip-flop work as a set condition. So output of next state of the SR flip-flop is become the 1. If S is equal to 0, S is equal to 1 and R is equal to 1, at time according to truth table, if S is equal to 1 and R is equal to 1, then output is become the invalid state. So S is equal to 1 and R is equal to 1. So output is become the don't care. After then S is equal to 0 and R is equal to 0, then output of SR flip-flop is Q of N. So here Q of N is equal to 1. So output of next state is 1. Here S is equal to 0, R is equal to 1, then SR flip-flop work as a reset condition. So output is become the 0. If S is equal to 1 and R is equal to 0, so SR flip-flop work as a set condition according to truth table. So output is become the 1. If S is equal to 1 and R is equal to 1, so SR flip-flop work as a don't care condition. After then we see the most important table of excitation tables. In the excitation table, you have Q of N is equal to 0 and Q of N plus 1, this means 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. So first of all we see the excitation table. If Q of N is equal to 0, if Q on N plus 1 is also 0, then means Q on of is equal to 0 and Q on N plus also 0. So what is the input of SR flip-flop? So we see that here if S is equal to 0, if Q of N is equal to 0, according to this condition, if Q of N is equal to 0 and Q of N plus 1 is equal to 0, So Q of n is equal to 0, Q of n plus is equal to 0, this condition. And another condition is Q of n is equal to 0 and Q of n plus 1 is 0. That means this condition. In both the condition, SR flip-flop is S is equal to 0, R is equal to 0 and S is equal to 0, R is equal to 1. So this S is equal to 0, 0 in the both the condition. So S is equal to 0. But here R is equal to 0 and 1. So we put the don't care. After then another condition is if Q of n is equal to 0 and Q of n plus 1 is equal to 1. So here Q of n is equal to 0 and Q of n is plus 1 is Q of n is 1. So this condition is valid for this condition if 0 and 1. Another is no condition. So output of SR flip-flop is 1 and 0. If Q of n is 1 and Q of n plus 1 is 0, so Q of n is 1 and Q of n plus 1 is 0. So another condition is not defined. So output of SR flip-flop is 0 and 1. Next condition, if Q of n is equal to 1 and Q of n plus 1 is equal to 1. So Q of n is equal to 1. So this condition, and Q of n plus 1 is 1. Q of n plus 1 is 1. So this condition. Another condition is this one. If Q of n is equal to 1 and Q of n plus 1 is equal to 1. So here S is equal to 0 and in other condition S is equal to 1. But R is equal to 0 and another condition R is also 0. So both the cases R is equal to 0. So here R is equal to 0. But in this condition S is equal to 0 and 1. So we put the don't care. So we put the don't care. This is the excitation table of the SR flip-flop. Is very simple if you know the truth table of the SR flip-flop. Thank you so much for watching this video.